Welcome back to the Red River Horror Podcast. This is episode number 74. I am your host, Joe Zagreski, joined by Eddie Cayazzo. Hi, Ed. How are you?
Joe, doing great. Still running through the winter here, but we're making our way towards spring, are we not?
We sure are. Times is crazy, but we're keeping on. And remember this before we get into it, that we've been forgetting to do it, but hey, check out our friend Steve Feast over at Keystone Retro, KeystoneRetro.com for some vintage clothing, toys, wrestling figures, other wrestling memorabilia, Funko, DC, Disney. He's got $2 DVD bin. He's got all kinds of fun stuff. You can use code Red River at checkout for 10% off your order. Hey, free shipping on all orders over $75. And then what's the fun thing that he's got going on? And you should also check out...
What's it called? Whatnot?
Whatnot. Check him out on Whatnot. Next time he does a Whatnot, definitely check out KeystoneRetro.com. Finding Keystone Retro on Instagram and all that good stuff. And of course, if you haven't yet, check out The Second Age of Aquarius. Support independent film and our friend Stacey Lane Wilson and who else? Oh, Brooke Lewis Bell. Was starring in it. So make sure to check out Second Age of Aquarius, available on Prime Video. You can also do it on YouTube for a fee. Not expensive.
No.
It's worth. Support independent artists in their endeavors. And then, hey, Ed, let's go travel down those channels of fear right now.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's get into episode 74. Ed.
Yep.
The big thing right now in the horror genre is this return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
And
it took over the weekend.
It did.
It's opening weekend. It took it over. Social media. Yeah. Everybody forgot about politics. Dude, it was all TCM.
Everywhere. And it's been getting so heated over, people hating it, people liking it, to the point where pretty much the horror community was at with Halloween Kills.
Yes.
Though, in this one, I'm seeing more dislike than like.
Yeah, and just as a funny aside, I think that I'll bet you the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on its opening weekend got more viewers than the entirety of the Olympics.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I'm just saying, I could not, Joe, when I say that I saw this in every circle was TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people I know in politics, people I know in mainstream news media, everywhere we went, they all had a comment about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Everybody wanted some of that action.
Yes.
I mean, the original is the movie that changed the genre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting one, and when I look back on the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's I enjoy it. I mean, it's weird, it's creepy.
Yes. It's rough.
It has two of the best scenes you're ever going to see in a horror movie, which is the meat hook and the last scene.
Okay. Oh yeah.
The ending of the movie's great.
Two scenes that will stick with you forever if you're a horror fan.
Yeah.
They're just you could put these. I think we said this about Sleepaway Camp, that last scene with Felicia's face. I think you could put these stills on a shirt and people be like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
And one of my favorite things about the original is not only at the time when I was, after I first saw it was around the same time I saw one of my favorite comedy movies that, might not be considered a classic, but I mean, it makes me die laughing every time I watch it, which isn't that often, but Freddy Got Fingered. Right. When Tom Green was at his height, there's a scene where his brother gets put into a home for abused children. This is a grown man, gets put into a home for abused children, so he's around all these little kids, and they're watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Of course they are.
So it's the meat hooks. So, say, it gets me every time. So, iconic horror movie has some very bizarre sequels.
Yes.
That I've seen I've seen pretty much all of them. And the one that I recommend for anybody, if you want to watch a movie that's so bad it's good, I believe it's Texas Chainsaw, A Next Generation or A New Generation. And that has such names as Matthew McConaughey and Renée Zellweger starring in it.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was just before both of them blew up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because then he had Dazed and Confused, I think, came out the same year.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what was Renée Zellweger was big. I just can't remember. Was it Me, Myself, and Irene that
She had something before that.
Yeah.
She has Jerry Maguire, I think, was her big.
Oh
big
my
one.
gosh, how could I forget? Yes, that was. So yeah, both Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger blew up after that. The Next Generation.
So bad it's good. That's one of those. That's my so bad it's good.
Okay.
The original, classic. Two others where it just kind of leans too heavy and like it just doesn't vibe. But you understand why that sequels just had to be done in excess, especially in the 80s.
No, I get it. And the thing is, the first person I reached out to, just because I remember our conversation when we had him on the show last. Think about this. We've never really had a duplicate guest, if you think about it.
Not yet.
It's crazy. I think maybe Joe D has, from Different Take, has had one extra appearance.
Yeah.
And I think Dr. Halloween has, we did the 2 parts, I think. Anyway, so I reached out to Dr. Halloween. I knew he was a huge original Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. One of his favorites, if I'm not mistaken, from an episode past. And he was telling me about the sequels, because I will just be straight up with you and our audience. I didn't really see many of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels. I saw the first one the same time you did when we saw it in that Boogeyman compilation, and then we watched it. That was the first time I had ever seen Leatherface.
We watched it in the basement.
Yes, watched it in the basement. So that's literally, I saw that. I was like, whoa, okay, I get this. I understand why it was so impactful to other people. Because there was also, at that age that we saw it, there was also a mystique. Not mystique, there was a mystery around it, as with anything before the age of...
It's what made this so good? What makes this so legendary?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the meat hook, the hammer, the meat hammer, all that stuff. And it's brutal. And one thing I remember you saying when we first watched it was the maybe you had seen it before I did, because the guy in the wheelchair just... you would never expect this.
I did see it before. I watched
did,
it.
yes.
All right, we got to watch this in the basement.
So because you were saying, I just can't believe that this happened at the time. It was impactful to you. Dude's running away through the woods and being pushed in a wheelchair like a person with special needs, and he just, no regard. Leatherface just puts that chainsaw right through him, and that's the end of that guy.
Yep. It's you knew he wasn't going to make it.
No,
you feel for him.
So anyway, so the first one, iconic. I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but it's an absolute. It's one of the best horror films I've ever seen. It scared me the first time I saw it. It lived up to the hype, and if I'm not mistaken, the '74 Texas Chainsaw Massacre was chosen by all the other great horror directors, Carpenter, Craven. I'm trying to think of who. I think this was Rolling Stone that put out this piece. They all agree that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the best, scariest horror film.
Yeah. And one of the things I was thinking about, other than that, and big names saying how great it is, and that definitely it kicked off their movies. We're talking about Wes Craven, we're talking about Carpenter, we're talking big names. And then I was thinking about the, seeing the Jessica Biel when the revival, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they were trying to provide more of a backstory to it. So I remember I only saw it in theaters. I don't think I saw it ever again because I didn't really like it.
You didn't really like it?
No.
Okay.
I think that's the one I need to revisit because somehow Texas Chainsaw Massacre Beginnings or whatever that came out a couple years after that as a prequel to it was really good.
That's the thing. I kind of got off onto went down the rabbit hole there.
Yeah.
So when you and I saw the 2003 Texas Chainsaw.
Yes.
Not that impressed with it. The beginning, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
And that was the one, and that was the Michael Bay ones, right? The Platinum Dunes. So,
where they're pumping the money into redoing horror movies.
So they had the one with Jessica Biel, and then they had Texas Chainsaw the beginning. So if you notice, the guy from Full Metal Jacket is the cop or the sheriff or whatever in that first one, Then they make The Beginning, which is the prequel, and you see how the town dried up, how he becomes the quote-unquote sheriff.
Yeah.
And like the meatpacking plant where, our scary hero with his chainsaw, like where he kind of...
Our Leatherface comes from.
Yes.
In those, they gave him a full name. Like, his name's like Thomas Hewitt or something like that.
They did give him a name, yeah.
They get the Hewitt family or whatever. Like...
So that's where I kind of wanted to. I saw this broken down somewhere. There it is, the franchise. Okay, so 74-1 classic.
Yeah,
but I will admit this. Just to finish that point, I'll admit this to you and our listeners. I've only seen the original one from 1974.
Yeah, but look at the date when 2 came out.
1986.
So how many sequels came out in 86?
I don't know.
So friggin' many.
So there wasn't there.
That's what is it? Halloween 4 is 88.
Yeah, Halloween 4 is 88. Yeah, 10 years.
So it's like it all starts. Everybody had to have a sequel at some point in the mid 80s because that's where we get the Freddy sequels, the Jason sequels are like. I guess they must have been making money.
So in 86, you would have to think. I mean, we can look it up. I'm sure you'd have to think there was a Friday. I think that was Jason 6 or Jason Lives. I think that.
Yeah.
There had to have been a Jason. There had to have been a Freddy. There might even have been a Poltergeist. Remember, there was like 4,
probably.
So yeah, I could totally see it. Yeah. So Tobe Hooper, he actually directed the sequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, from Dr. Halloween. Loves that one. He's just like, you got to see it. I'm like, really?
Yeah. I guess that one's fair for a revisit because, I think seeing all 3 and the Next Generation that I just found so goofy. Maybe I got to give 2 another shot.
Okay. I mean, it was,
So you got 2003 was the one with Jessica Biel. We're having a hot young cast.
Sure. Yeah, okay. Michael Bay, that was the Platinum Dunes
which was
one.
The style at the time.
Now, The Beginning, both, I think, you've said it, we both enjoyed that because we would just see horror films.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. It came out. It's like this will probably be bad, but what the hell? We'll sit. We saw a lot of good ones on that kind of note too. I remember The Crazies. I thought that was good.
Yeah, The Crazies is a good one.
I'm just trying to think,
which is also all the remakes.
Yeah.
Hey, I the stuff they were doing. I did enjoy. So that the Friday the 13th I actually really liked.
I did too,
and even The Nightmare. I enjoyed.
Liked The Nightmare a lot. Yeah. Don't understand why people hate it so much.
I mean,
I liked it too.
I thought they were both really good.
So then you get to you had the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, big cast.
Yep.
The Beginning, both you and I liked. I remember this one as well.
Yeah, 3D.
If you haven't seen it, that was actually pretty good too.
I think I did. Because 2013 where everything was in 3D, every movie's in 3D right now.
So that was surprisingly good. It was directed by John Lewison-Hopp, okay? What is that? Written by Adam Marcus and Deborah Sullivan. That came out in 2013. I seem to remember liking that. I'm just saying. Now, Red River Horror was around. I don't know if we reviewed Leatherface, which came out in October.
I did not see
2017. I didn't see that one
either.
That
existed.
Yep.
And then this is another... Not a revival.
So now that brings us to
where we are today.
Yes.
And I had planned on watching this before we recorded, and I didn't look too much into it. I didn't know what to expect. I'm just like, you know what? Because of my experience with the Jessica Biel one not being that was kind of corny. It is kind of corny. You know what? Screw that. I don't need to watch it again. There's just too much running around and hiding, and not in a scary way.
Yes.
It just got redundant.
Sure.
Let's hide behind all these knives and stuff like that. There was just a lot of stupid setup.
Yes.
Whatever. If you wanted something from 2003 to 2005 remake kind of thing that, with the big popular cast that's fun and good, watch House of Wax. So anyway.
True.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
Yeah. So with this, I'm just okay, I heard Tobe Hooper's involved with it, right? Didn't he have something to do with it? Or?
The newest one?
Yeah.
Not that I can tell, but that doesn't mean he's not.
Or he just still gets credited because he created it.
Probably, I would venture to guess characters created by.
Yeah. So either way, I'm just you know what? I'm kind of looking forward to this if this is going to be only knew a little bit about the plot where it's just like, oh, an abandoned town, like getting a population back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, I like that idea.
Sure.
And then before we were going to watch it, I'm just like, you know what? Because like we had been talking about how we're going to be doing more, we're doing more video and trailers coming soon, folks.
Very.
And I was like, you know what? I really want to watch the trailer because I love trailers and I really shouldn't have. Because at first I'm just like, hey, this looks like it could be really cool. This looks like it could be really cool. And then out of nowhere, there's this old woman who says, I've been waiting 50 years for this.
Yes.
Now, anybody who's listened to this podcast before, when we talk about the new Halloween trilogy, my biggest beef is having these geriatric people duke it out.
Yes.
And that one's 40 years.
Right.
Let's add another 10 for 50 years later.
Yes.
So she is the same character from the first one who gets away and jumps on that truck.
Correct.
So I didn't watch it because I looked at my wife. I'm like, yo, what the actual fuck?
Yes.
And it's no offense to, it's like, oh, it's not just the old woman showing up to kick some ass. The killer's also 50 years older.
Correct.
And if, he's been eating mix of human, animal, whatever he can get his hands on.
Pretty much straight up meat.
Yeah.
For 50 years.
He's definitely not in the best health.
No.
Same thing with Michael. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this?
Right.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
So, to pick up.
But no, they're all super powered and ready to fight like it's an Avengers movie.
So yes. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, released on Netflix.
Yep.
Big opening. Everybody watching it. It was 50 years after so it is a direct sequel. It does not honor any of the things in between, just like H4O, Halloween 2018. We'll go with the official plot real quick. Nearly 50 years, Joe, after Leatherface's killing spree in 1973, young entrepreneurs Melody and Dante, Melody's sister Lila, and Dante's girlfriend Ruth travel to the abandoned Texas town of Harlow to auction off old properties, create a trendy, heavily gentrified area. While inspecting a dilapidated orphanage, the group discover it's still occupied by an elderly woman called Ginny. That's not the same elderly woman you're thinking of.
Okay.
When she claims she has papers to prove she still owns the property, an argument breaks out, briefly interrupted by a silent and towering man from upstairs. Ginny then collapses from a heart attack and is rushed to the hospital, accompanied by Ruth and the man. All right, I'm going to skip ahead because we won't spoil it. You've never seen it. I'm trying to think of the original. The original lady's name is Marilyn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, pretty much, she gets word that stuff's going down and comes to Harlow, Texas to join in the fun as they try to go after this man.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, all right, I did not think this movie was all that great.
Okay.
I did think that Halloween Kills was better than it. There is one really, really cool scene in this Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Is it going to be the one where he gets on the bus and all the people pull out their phones?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
Now,
I was like, all right, I would like that a lot more if it wasn't based around a 50-year revenge plot.
Right.
Which I don't like that. That's got to stop. Like, that cannot be the new norm in this genre.
No.
Because what are you going to do next? You're going to have, like, Jason's mom survived.
Right.
And now someone from Crystal Lake's going to come after to get Mrs. Voorhees. Mm-hmm. That's where we're at right now. It's got to stop. No more.
Now, the bus thing, let me just read from Dr. Halloween. I am pretty much, I think I'm alone in liking the bus scene. My wife didn't like it that much. Mm-hmm. Dr. Halloween had something very specific to say about it. And I'm like, okay, well, it seems like...
This is in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler.
No, but
you don't see the kills, but it's like he's definitely about to kill all of them.
But the cool thing, all right, yeah, spoiler, he does, and it's crazy. Like, I mean, he mows down the whole damn, like he mows down a whole bus full of young people. That slasher movie, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, at 80-something years old.
Right. Well, all right, so that's maybe something we can hone in on. Let me find out what Dr. Sally, I'm sorry.
Because we'll put it this way. It's like, they can try and play it like, so Michael Myers at least was, he would be in his 60s because he escaped when he was probably like 20-something.
Mm-hmm.
Leatherface, when we meet his family, those who are his parents are old.
Yes.
So old that he wears his mother's face.
Yes.
Like he dresses like his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's grandparents there that look like they're dead.
Uh-huh.
So he's definitely not in his 20s.
No.
This is like an 80 or 90-year-old thing.
So
what the hell?
So Dr. Halloween gave it a 5 out of 10. Sally, I think, is the original person that escaped.
Okay. I can't remember. I haven't watched the original in a long time, but now I'm tempted. I'd rather watch the original than this. Because, like, my big question is, like, is this even worth my time? Because your answer is going to dictate to anybody listening who has not seen it yet. And that's what I wanted to get at with this episode. Is this worth?
The thing is, yes, it is worth seeing because something that Dr. Halloween points out, I needed to get his take on it. I'm not. Mm-hmm. This is not me deferring, but you have to take this for what it is.
Okay.
All right. It's Leatherface chasing around and killing people in a ghost town.
Great idea.
Sure.
Why does it have to have the 50-year revenge story?
It doesn't. That you could take that out of it. If you want to see Leatherface chasing people around and sawing them in half and like, I mean, there's one. It's during the bus scene. There's one person he gets where he cuts them in half as they're trying to get out the window. The half of the body falls, and then the guts start spilling over the side. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Now, are they like collecting them for food, or is it just he's just killing to kill? They take away the cannibal element.
They didn't really touch on the cannibal element.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, like
but that is a big part of it.
Yes,
that's why they kill them.
Yes, they eat and he wears the people. Yeah. Yes,
food was scarce. They did what they had to do.
Yep. All right, let me see if I can find this. I'm trying to think. Like, where is the 50-year-old lady?
My concern when we're going over things, especially we've talking about trailer. Like, I enjoy movie trailers because it gets me something to be excited to be entertained by. Mm-hmm. And there's one of the things that's great about like movies and TV shows is when you see a trailer for something it's underwhelming, and then you do see it, and it's just like, hey, wow, that was really good. That was really cool. Yes. That does happen.
Okay.
And then there's other ones where the trailer is the best part of the entire movie.
Yes, and I'm sorry. All right, so Marilyn Burns has passed away, and I apologize for that. I did not know that she had passed. She's from Erie, Pennsylvania.
The original actress.
Correct. The one scene
they had to get a living person.
Yes.
Because the other one reached the point in her life where she could no longer. Actually, she died. It's a little young to die.
65 is when she passed.
That's
Or she passed in 2014 at age 65. Okay. All right. So then the actress would have been 8 years. So 8 years, 70. So she was what, 65 years old?
Mm-hmm.
So she would be 70. Oh my gosh, Eddie, math.
73.
Yeah. So 73. So she would have been 73 years old.
Yeah.
To strap up and head back to Harlow, Texas, to take out Leatherface. Now
somebody's probably going to listen and be like, "There's a lot of 7-year-olds in good shape." It's just like,
sure.
You know what happens to 7-year-olds with like hard impact? Like bones are going to break a lot easier than they did when they were younger.
Yes. So Leatherface is a man. He's not supernatural. He's a person. Somebody on Twitter said he would be 68 years old.
Where are they getting that from?
Don't know.
That's from fan fiction or something where it's just like, well, that's canon now.
Right, right.
One of those. That's not a young man in the original.
No.
He's a big, fat oaf.
So
and that's one of the other complaints I heard is just like in the original, he's the family bitch.
Yeah.
Like he's the butcher. Like he's he's a big special guy. Like
oh, he's not doing anything because he means to scare people or like he's not doing it for his own entertainment.
No, he does what he's told.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he's just carving people up to eat them, to provide food. I'm not saying that's right, but he's a big dumb animal. Mm-hmm.
And one of the complaints I hear in this is like now he's like crafty and smart.
Yes.
Which no.
Yeah.
The thing it doesn't even talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tell him to do things like
yeah. No, sure. No, you're right. So all right. So then you're asking me if it's worth it to see it. Yeah. I think if you've taken the time to watch Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation, you can take 82 minutes to watch this.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
That was my wife's argument.
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to talk about it tomorrow, so you might as well watch it. I'm like, I don't think I can make it through it.
Now here's where if you shouldn't, right? If you were, which I don't believe you are, like you love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you're not one of these people that's obsessed with the posters in your room writing fan fictions about it, right?
No.
So if you're one of those people and you love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you probably it would have been a disservice. Like you probably shouldn't. Like if Leatherface is your guy in the way that Michael Myers is mine, like then you don't need to see this.
Okay.
Like you will because
I'm going to.
That's the thing. It's just across the board. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Across the board, you can spend 82 minutes to watch it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair because that's really not that long.
No,
that's short, so that's good. I didn't even take that into consideration. But that's a fair assessment to say. 82 minutes is really not too much of my time to at least know.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna hate on.
Yeah.
Well.
But yes, you did not like Halloween. Any of this reiteration since 2018.
Ed, I really do not care for this. Revival of 40, 50 years and being like, yeah. It's like no. That's got to stop.
It does.
I was hoping for a fun revisioning. And I'm going to tell you this, like the thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the things that makes like the remake portion of it really hard to do, by the way, I think like 2003 where it doesn't have it, is the one from the 70s is just, it gets scarier with age because like everything around it's like the camera works really good.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is so good. And I think that 70s style, like the film.
Oh, it's gritty as hell.
Adds so much to it.
Yeah.
Which is really something that can't be captured here. I was hoping for something like that because like even in like the stills and screens, there was like this like tinge, like, something where it was just like this darker, deserty kind of vibe that they were going for.
Mm-hmm. It's like in a ghost town with Leatherface chasing people around and kill them. I mean, it works. It's not bad. I'm sure. Again, admitting to everybody that I've only seen the remake, the beginning, and 3D. Those are the only three that I've seen other than the OG.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I saw those and enjoyed 2 of the 3 of those.
Yeah.
So the only way I could see you being pissed off is if, yes, this is your Halloween 2018. This is your 50 years later where it's just like, really? We're making a sequel now. Like nothing in between has happened. Now we're making a sequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It does not work there.
No.
It's not. That's completely unnecessary. No. They should have just made a movie using just the character
Yeah.
If that's what they were going to do.
Shake it up.
Or if it's only 82 minutes long, you could probably add a 5-minute thing where, just like with what's the movie we liked, the newer one, Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
Where one of the kids' parents goes looking for.
Perfect.
Like we do see an original Texas Chainsaw Massacre type group ride through, and they all obviously die. And who knows, Leatherface may even be wearing this dude's kid's face, but this guy wants to investigate. You could have added that.
Yeah.
To avoid the 50 years later, all right, like saddle up. Now this chick's going to ride into town, to settle old scores with Leatherface. Like, you could have avoided all of that by simply adding somebody went to this town, a kid.
Yeah, you could play the, she knows where it is. Like, it's like,
yeah.
Something like that where it's like, it's been off the map. Like, this town doesn't exist. There's no GPS pin.
Right.
And that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it makes it seem like such a missed opportunity.
Yes.
You're going to do that. Also, I don't know how, even 50 years later, how she would have any idea where that thing was, because she was not the one driving. She was in the back.
Correct.
In the back of a bus with, like, a VW bus with no real windows or anything. So
right.
she didn't know where anything was going. And then when she gets away, she just goes running until she finds a road.
Yes.
So, the new Jurassic Park coming out has, Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern and everybody, like, it's got all the people from the original Jurassic Parks joining Chris Pratt on this adventure. Isn't that exciting? Can we just stop with the revival?
I don't know
everything.
I was actually just for fun watching some Ricky Gervais Golden Globe stuff. Like, I just love how he destroys the people in the room at those events.
Don't care 5 times.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm trying to think of what he said. Wasn't there a point where Scorsese said that these Marvel movies are crap?
Well, he said like they're not real cinema or something like that.
Yeah. And they are. I'm not like, hey, I want to see Michael Myers hack some people up on screen. I want to see Jason. I want to see Freddy do all that. It's like,
it's junk food for our brains,
yes.
man. It's entertainment.
Yes. So I can get it. If you want to see a dude with a shield, like throw it and hit somebody, F-it-A.
You want to escape, escape from the bullshit that is, everyday responsibility and just enjoy something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is all about.
Yes.
There's a lot of fanboys that take it too far.
There are.
But.
Which is why Scream is so damn good.
Yeah.
Scream, I'm telling you. So, I saw it. We were supposed to have a whole thing around it and just life and time and yada yada.
Yep.
It's I think you will appreciate if not like if you don't like it, I think you'll appreciate some of the.
I'm sure I will. I'll watch it and then we'll tap on it in our next episode. Because one of the thing about this episode that I really wanted to cover was like when we're talking about you watching movies just to kill time, to have something on in the background, to or just to be straight up entertained. Like, is it I question like, is this worth my time? And there was the one we both got around to watching Antlers.
Yes,
which is one where it's like I don't know if I would ever recommend it to anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would watch it again. And I enjoyed it because it actually was just a story that was more original than other things that have come out.
Sure. I can appreciate that thought towards it, yeah.
Not going to say it was like one of the best movies I've ever seen, but I liked the story. It had a hard time finishing itself.
Yeah.
It had a really hard time finishing. But it had a great idea behind it. Loved the folklore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all I can say.
All right.
It's one of those ones, if you really like mythical like lore, like if you like folklore, like those kind, like Chupacabra or
yeah,
Bigfoot.
This one surrounding the Wendigo, right? For the antlers, yeah.
So that's what you get out of it. I mean, I wouldn't say like it's not one that I would recommend to anybody. I'd be like, yeah, it's all it was. It's cool, it's fun.
Yeah, do your homework on that one.
Yeah, if you're a big time horror fan, even then, I don't think it's for you.
No,
I think it's for some if you like folklore.
Yes,
Folklore's the right lore, right? Yeah,
it's a contained story that you can get through. Like, you watch it, you start it, middle, finish, you're done.
Yep.
And you probably don't have to ever watch it again.
Nah, I don't. There's no reason to watch that one ever again because like all the reveals or anything else are kind of done.
So I will say that if you're a horror fan, sequels. Bad sequels sometimes are a part of it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix is a bad sequel. But there are some fun things that I think you can appreciate. Some fun kills that I think you can appreciate.
So there is an entertainment value to it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And I will just say you have to go to redriverhorror.com to see Stacy's review because she disagrees that it was bad.
I gotta read it.
So
that's 4 canoes.
That's
4 boats.
4 boats. Yep.
Wow.
4 boats from Stacy. So now the thing is, what you have to understand is that she was, I think you have to, I think she's someone who has an appreciation for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG.
Yeah.
So that's someone with some horror acumen, some historical data to pull on, and she liked it. So
okay, I mean, so that was the thing. I didn't read the review because I was going to watch it and then read her review.
Yep.
So maybe I'll read her review first because I really don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
And her reviews are usually not very spoiler heavy, if any. They're just pretty straightforward. So I'll have to read the review.
And I saw this on Twitter. I saw this on Twitter as well, man. There are some people that are just, they couldn't believe I don't want to speak to anyone specifically, but then there's people on Twitter that literally just say, it's like, what the hell did you expect from this? Like, what did you want this to be? Like, they're calling out people on both sides of this sucked or this was amazing. It's just like, what the hell did you want?
Hey, there's nothing more fair than that. Just like, what did you expect?
Right.
It's, it's the thing. My aversion was what I didn't expect.
Yes. That's a trigger for you. Like, if you don't like that, you don't like that.
I hate it.
These people are old.
I fucking hate it.
Leatherface and the chick are old. They're old people.
Yeah. But that's the new, and I get there's definitely been way too many remakes over the last 20 years. I mean, remakes just happen over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And the crave for original content is there, and that's why, with the antlers thing where I'm just like, oh yeah.
Sure.
Just give me something. I was hoping for something unique or just another revisioning of Texas Chainsaw, but it seems like an effort that's a little too late.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's Leatherface killing a new group of people, but there's nothing in between that it recognizes. And yes, there is, for some reason, somebody, the only person that survived the original, goes back to fight him.
No. No.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
Well, I'll get her. I've got to do that. I'll watch that. And Scream 5, which is also getting the mixed reviews, but I was expecting that. I'm not expecting anything out of it.
I'm quite surprised that Scream did so well. I think Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, it's in the 80s, and the audience scores in the 90s. And I think some Texas Chainsaw people are pissed about that because Texas Chainsaw is not doing well through critics. So like they're just like, well, what makes Scream so great? What makes Scream so great? It's just like I can understand. It's like, okay, it's not the best thing since sliced bread, but it's good.
I'd say the original's one of the best things since sliced bread.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about 2022. Yeah.
So, yeah, and the other thing, all of Scream sequels are all Neve Campbell.
Yes.
There's never been Neve Campbell goes away and then comes back 50 years later.
She's been a part of all of it.
Never left. So that's the thing there. So it's one of those things where I just wanted to ask you if it was going to be worth it. Let the people know if it's worth it. And we're going to say, you know what? It is worth it if you want to see some fun some crazy kills, see what they can come up with. Don't expect too much out of the plot and just let it ride.
Yep.
That's fair.
Pretty much it.
That's it. I mean, if you want the blood and guts and dice them up, you got to go for it.
Yes. And the thing is, we just spent a whole episode talking about it. So why the hell? If you've come this far, just give in.
But before we close up anything, let's take a look on RedRiverHorror.com because we need to start doing. We cover some more Nick Cushion. Let's take a look at what's coming our way. Like, so we have what's already happened.
Yep.
In February, what else do we have? What's coming up?
All right, so we want to do this new segment with you called "Watch It, Not Watch It." Right?
Yes.
So all we're gonna do is Nick puts these great. If you're a horror fan, go to Red River Horror. Well, yeah, if you're listening, go to RedRiverHorror.com. The start of every month, Nick puts it all together there in an article with his commentary.
Yep.
And a trailer. So coming out. All right. So let's just say we'll go back to February 17th on the release of this one. All right. That's King Knight. They Live in the Gray. A Banquet. Don't Kill Me. All right.
Let's say so. Don't Kill Me's going. So let's see where are they going to. So King Knight already has a review on MovieBabble.com, so you can check that out there. That's so that hit theaters on the 17th. So theaters and video on demand. They Live in Gray is a Shudder direct.
Yep.
A Banquet, theaters and video on demand. Don't Kill Me, Netflix direct. That comes out the 20th. And we got Hellbender there. That's another Shudder OG original. I guess that's what you call them, Shudder original. Yeah. And then No Exit, a Hulu original. All right.
So now, Joe, we have the trailer for Texas Chainsaw Massacre remaining, right? We also have The Cursed, which that review's up at RedRiverHorror.com right now. The Cursed came out. I think that's a Netflix one, right? Let's see. Werewolves. Yep. The Cursed.
All right, so can we put that on? Because I'm curious, because that looks like werewolves.
Yes.
Because in Nick's commentary it says originally titled Silver or something else. That Silver would be a great title.
Yeah.
For a werewolf movie, because you can only kill him with a silver bullet.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, so let's watch it. Now we're going to play Watch It, Not Watch It. Joe, after seeing this, do you want to watch it or not watch it?
We've all dreamt of a silver that has cursed this land.
Okay.
And Judas asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you?"
Strong start.
"We will all pay for the sins made by our elders."
I love the build-up in the trailer and then to the silence and then the line.
They've sent for me regarding their son who's gone missing. It may be connected to what you've been looking for.
Not for the faint of heart.
Nope.
I like this. I like the imagery so far. So there's like a foggy field with the rain.
Did the girls see what attacked them?
I'm really liking the vibe to this.
What's happening here?
Yep.
Ooh.
The land's been cursed.
Are you getting like a Sleepy Hollow vibe?
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Like you said, I like what surrounds it. The atmosphere seems very creepy.
It's so important. Ooh. The standard quiet pop out to finish. Yeah, I'd watch that.
All right.
I want to watch that.
So The Cursed, right?
Yeah.
Watch it, not watch it. Joe is saying watch it. I actually will as well. That came to theaters, starting in theaters on February 18th.
Yeah. I'm in on that.
All right.
That looks good. I like it has like that really good dark atmosphere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
all right, so that's out in theaters, and then obviously you have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which came to Netflix. Joe, one more for you. Watch it, not watch it. I don't think we need to watch the trailer unless you want to. I think I know the answer to this one.
I've watched the trailer multiple times. I recommend everybody watch the trailer, and that's Studio 666.
Studio 666 is the other. That's the last remaining theatrical horror film to come out in February of 2022.
Looks silly, looks fun.
It looks like all the things. It's like, Joe, this might be, I wouldn't normally recommend this for a film like this.
Yeah.
But it might be a theater run.
Yeah, I would do that.
It's like childhood all wrapped up into one. The Foo Fighters and horror.
Yeah.
Come on.
I love Dave Grohl, the guy. He seems like a real cool dude.
So on this edition, we're going to actually create some nice sounds surrounding this, but we are introducing a new segment to the Red River Horror Podcast called Watch It, Not Watch It.
Yep.
With Joe and I will play the trailers for Joe, and he'll decide watch it, not watch it. I will as well, and we're going to lean on our good friend Nick Cush from Movie Babble, who puts up a great preview every month. You can go, if you're a horror fan, you have to see it, redriverhorror.com, of what's coming out video on demand. And we had two films that we did. That was The Cursed and Studio 666.
Yeah.
Both of us are
watching those.
Watch it.
Yeah, watch it. And especially, I'm curious with Studio 666 because it didn't show a lot of cameos, but I bet there's going to be a ton of cameos.
I mean, I think Dave Grohl is... we were just talking about this with my day job, in radio. Yeah. We were talking about who are the people that are just universally loved, like people that just love people. So Betty White was one of those people. It doesn't matter your politics, doesn't matter what era of entertainment you fall under. Universally, everyone loved Betty White. I also heard Dolly Parton's one of those figures. Same thing. Everybody
loves Dolly Parton.
Everybody loves Dolly, right? One local, we'll say, Dick Vermeil just got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think pretty much everyone loves Dick Vermeil
at this point.
Yeah. So Dick Vermeil is one of those figures. I think in Hollywood, there's no way Dave Grohl isn't one of those people that everyone just loves.
Yeah, I know people who don't like his music and like the guy.
Exactly.
So
I
think that's what you're getting.
So cameos, yes. And in the preview that we didn't watch just because Joe and I have already seen the trailer a bunch, Lionel Richie was in it. I think that does tell you all you need to know. This is going to be pretty funny.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Looks like a good time.
Yep.
So, hey, let's call it a day on this episode.
Think so?
Yeah, we'll call it a day here on episode 74 of the Red River Horror Podcast. You know me, Joe Zakreski. You can find me on Twitter at Red River Joe. You can find Eddie runs the Red River Horror Twitter. You can find Red River Horror on Instagram. You can find it on the Facebook. You can find us on YouTube with some more video content coming soon. So like what we're saying with this new segment, you're going to see our reactions.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Got some cameras, baby.
We're moving up in the world.
Joe D from Different Take will be proud.
Yeah, watch out, Joe. Here we come. And then before it ends, when we talked about repeat guests, we didn't say Steve, but Steve's been on multiple times.
Steve and Dave. No, but I'm thinking, but so we haven't had Jeffrey Reddick back on yet. I know he wants to come back. Stacy has not been on a second time. He wants to come back. Daniel Farron said we could if he would come back if we asked him.
Yeah.
Brooke says she wants to come back. So Steve Morrison.
Steve Morrison.
So there are people that we want to bring back to you, and we will do a lot more of that in 2022.
Oh hell yeah!
Let's chainsaw the F out of this, man. I'll talk to you later.
Let's do that, and let's keep driving those channels of fear.
Boom.